Welcome. Hi there, this is my first video on YouTube, and today I'm primarily going to talk about this, my ebook slash course. This video is going to be structured in a way of first explaining how I got the inspiration for this ebook. It's going to outline the basic chapters, and it's going to be followed up by a quick Q&A session where I answer some common questions I receive about this ebook. So this video is especially for those guys that want to make money, but more specifically money in the sneaker reselling industry. Anyways, let's talk a bit about myself. I am essentially reselling since 2016. Do you remember those times when Yeezys were actually the real deal and nobody else knew about them? Well, if you remember these, you're the real OG, as these were actually my first personal pairs from back in the day that I still wear to this date. And essentially since then, I started reselling through cleaning sneakers, quick flipping, copying from releases. I moved on to botting some notable releases I actually caught manual of, were the Off-White Prestos, a bunch of Supreme box logos, and I actually secured the Travis Scott Dunks when they released in New York at the Supreme store. So all of this experience I gathered in the sneaker reselling industry for the past 7 years. This all led up to me creating the company in 2021. It's called Wear the Hype, GmbH. If you're still wondering what the difference is between Hypethewear and Wear the Hype, basically Wear the Hype is more for the selling side, so selling my sneakers, while Hypethewear is more for the resellers and giving them advice and sorts of stuff. I also made the transition to sneaker investing as I had a lot of capital available to tie up into appreciating assets such as sneakers, and had the time for them to increase, and basically this money would work for me. This also led to me creating this ebook for you guys to showcase my experiences I gathered in the sneaker reselling industry from the past 7 years, such that you don't do the same mistakes I did, and you get valuable insights and techniques and templates to work on to really expand your business. So around the same time period of me creating the company, I would also start writing draft versions for my soon to be established chapters. I had all of these Google Docs open. I would always write in them during school hours and me getting home. I would always work on them. After that, I worked together with a local book publisher called Hypethewear that would collect all of these completed draft versions and Google Docs and structuring them in a way with photographs, diagrams, and templates. After regular meetings, we would share our opinions and give feedback on things that could be changed. In Parlay, I would also start selling the existing draft version to followers at a discounted price, such that they could give me feedback and they would have a rough version of my ideas, such that they could already start and get advantage from my ideas. We kept on editing the draft versions of the ebook until it was ready, until professionals could proofread it for spelling, grammar, and those sorts of issues, and make it legal to sell from the German market. This process took us about 8 months, and we got it all ready now. We have the best version out for you, and now we're going to go over the table of contents. This is basically one of the draft versions I would exchange with the company to give feedback. Anyways, let's go through the table of contents, starting off with chapter 1. So basically chapter 1 discusses the best buying and selling platforms. So questions such as, what are the best places to sell this certain model, or what are the benefits of selling to one platform to the other, and how do I manage shipping, what is the best shipping method, will all be answered in this chapter. Following this is chapter number 2, which is called cleaning. This is gonna talk about how to take advantage of cleaning sneakers, what are the best cleaning products, how do you clean certain materials such as mesh, prime knit, suede or leather. The third chapter, buying used, is basically going to use the information from the cleaning chapter, but now strategically applying them to sneakers that we can buy off of people and flip them now towards these selling sites we discussed earlier. So questions such as, how can I exceed my ROI on this certain sneaker? Or what platforms can I search to get these used sneakers? Or what are some good silhouettes to search and which are better than others, will all be answered in this chapter. The following chapter, chapter number 4, releases, is basically everybody's go-to. It's the basic method to reselling sneakers, everybody knows about it. However, it's going to discuss specific strategies you can implement to increase your chances of copying on certain releases, and they're all discussed in this chapter. This next chapter is probably one of the most important, as it's gonna address the power of negotiation with other people. I'm going to teach you how you should talk to others online. The skill is probably one of the most important, because if you're able to master this technique, you can lower your expenses. Now moving on to chapter number 6, which is called steals. Steals is going to discuss the ways of finding good deals on secondary platforms. The negotiation skills from above will seriously help you finding under market valued sneakers which you can flip easily on other platforms, discussed in chapter 1. Chapter number 7, which is called bot flipping, is basically the same as the previous one, which is steals, only that this time you're trading with bots, so-called softwares. Now savings is going to examine the ways you can save on every transaction made online. This could be using Cash App programs or similar schemes. The next chapter, outlets, is probably one of the most valuable chapters, as outlets are excellent ways to access brick sneakers and sell them online. Questions such as, how do I effectively use outlets to my advantage, or when are the best times to hit out outlets and contacts from within the store, will all be answered in this chapter. The following reselling method, called brick flips, is a reselling method mainly done on online retailers, and the main products we are scattering is products like Air Force Ones that can be ordered in bulk quantities and sold very quickly on those selling platforms discussed in chapter 1. The 11th chapter, beater boxes, is basically self-explanatory. If you buy a mystery box off of reliable sources and flip the contents. Our next chapter, buying bulk, is going to teach you the techniques of hitting up these bulk buyers and where you can find them. Once you're connected with these sorts of sellers, you're able to distribute these bulk quantities for them and therefore secure the cash. The previous method is also very important towards this next chapter, which is investment, as these bulk sellers can sell you bulk quantities at a reduced price, which can lower your investment costs. And investments is probably one of the very most important chapters in this book, as it's going to teach you the art of tying up cash into capital such as sneakers that are gonna increase in value over time. Questions such as, how do I determine a good hold? How do I start a hold? They will all be answered in this chapter. Chapter number 14 is gonna talk about botting, which is going to go into detail on how you can operate a successful botting business. Things such as proxies, credit cards, delays, and all those sorts of stuff is going to be examined in this chapter. The next chapter, chapter 15, growing your brand, is going to instruct you how you can level your online presence on social media networks such as Instagram, such that you can increase your sales over time. Now moving on to chapter 16, which is finance. Finance is going to give you advice on which method to really focus on in this book, and all of this depends on the level of expertise and the level of capital you bring into this. Next up, we got safety. Safety is precisely going through ways to always stay on the safe side, such that no scammers are able to take your money. Probably one of the most valuable advices you can get, as it's going to eliminate the hassle going through unorthodox resellers that are unfortunately still out there. Then the last chapter is going to be my conclusion that will give you my insights on past experiences and general advice when reselling, and my biggest takeaways, etc. As you can see, there's loads of content available for everyone in the sneaker reselling industry. If you're still not convinced about the value you will receive from purchasing this ebook, I will be hosting online webinars and lectures that will give you a guide through some of the chapters I discuss in this book in a 30-minute to 1 hour time frame. Check out the link in the description once it's out. Now let's move on to some questions that I received from some of you. The first question is, what languages is this ebook available in? Unfortunately, this ebook is only available in English, which should suit most of the demographic out there. So the second question I received from some of you is whether this is an ebook or a physical book that can be shipped to you. This is strictly an electronic PDF that you will receive. Once you purchase the course, you will receive an email with access to download the copy, including a free accounting template for those of you that require that. And the third and final question for this Q&A is, does this book only focus on the US market, or does it involve the EU? Most information in this book is transmissible throughout world regions. However, I also find a lot of success in the EU market, and you are always welcome to contact me through email with specific questions regarding that. Now to some final statements. One last thing I want to address is that you will be added to my best friends list on Instagram and get exclusive content on planned investments and special one-on-one consultation when purchasing the ebook now. Also, the course will help us plant some more trees in partnership with the Arbor Day Foundation. Currently, the sales of my ebook have funded the cultivation of 211 trees. And lastly, I cannot guarantee any successes from my course. I'm only teaching you the skills necessary that I implemented into my business and that worked for me. So if you're still willing to put in the effort, go ahead and purchase the course at hypethewear.com or use the link in the description or up here. Guys, make sure you sign up to future webinars and online lectures I will be hosting on specific methods discussed in this course, such as investments or safety, using the link down below. Make sure to follow me on my social media accounts at Hypethewear to see the latest investment portfolios and other related reselling stuff. Go ahead and subscribe if you like this video, and we will see each other for the next one. My name is Philipp Deurer, and I want to thank each and every one of you for watching until the end. Thanks.